Pleased to be joined by Frank Agraz, Facility Solutions Group. He's joined the evil empire. Welcome back to Get a Grip on Lighting, Frank.
It's very nice to meet you, and I appreciate the northern hockey pronunciation of my name. I love it.
So Frank, you're here to do a session, an education session. Tell us what that is.
I am Confessions of a Lighting Retrofit Proposal Developer.
Yeah.
You know, not so much within the mainstream on the new construction side, but my world has always involved the existing building.
Yes, the built
scenario.
environment. Yep.
So the building's already there, the power's there, the light fixtures are there. So how do we give the customer a solution that delivers energy savings? How do we mitigate risk? How do we throw in some sustainability to it? How do we reduce their maintenance concerns? And so there's a slightly different angle, because really what we're selling is return on investment. That's why these customers do this. And lighting is the vehicle that generates the savings. That's really what it boils down to. And so my world most recently involves mostly working with the performance contracting ESCOs. That is energy savings on steroids, right? Because they're using basically the lighting project to help pay for other measures within the facility. So if a school district has a 50-year-old chiller, putting in a new chiller does not have a 2-year payback. But lighting is historically one of the best payback ECMs, and so they bring us in, grab the savings, try to minimize the cost, and then overall they put together a 10, 15, 20-year package, which then they can sell, do the financing, and everyone's happy.
You know, I've got a confession to make here. I count a lot of lights, and I did a training room the other day, and I got the order, got it all installed and everything, and I counted 7 fixtures. There were 6. How was that for a confession? I went there physically and I counted 7, but there were only 6.
Greg, you're hired. Yeah.
So how often are you counting them right, Frank?
So that's a great point. It is very rare that any professional lighting audit is 100% correct.
Right.
I mean,
It's never correct.
I mean, if you can get in the high 90s, you are smoking.
Yes.
You're a rock solid professional, and so there's always that little bit. And so then it comes down to, okay, is your customer going to allow for change orders or not? Are you going to build in contingency for that or not? And so there's always a gray area. Are you going to take it on the chin and margin, or are you going to try to shift some of that risk to the customer? So it's always a topic of conversation.
How do you do that? Like I've been doing it a long time, and I'm still bad at doing that. Like I just want to sell the project and get it. I don't want to talk about all the issues that can come. Let's do the sale.
As a matter of fact, last year I had my first in the Confession series, Confession of a Lighting Auditor, and I went through some of those steps of kind of best practices.
Okay.
So when you walk into a warehouse, as an example, and you may have 2 or 3 layers of lighting, right? Don't try to count exit signs on one hand and high bays on the other. Let's go one at a time. A lot of tips and tricks on ways to get that done right. So it is a science to it, and so again, you're not going to be 100% accurate, but anything we can do to be consistent, not only from the your installation team, they have to build what you're showing. So if you've got a 10-story high-rise building, start on the northwest corner every time and go clockwise every time.
Yes.
Allow the installation team to read your mind, because they're working off of stuff that you did, maybe 6 months ago.
Sure.
Yeah. And are you doing investment grade audits every time, or you guys do summaries, or a little bit of both?
So if I'm going to put somebody on a plane and I'm going to invest resources, we're doing an investment grade.
Yeah.
Let's get the detail.
Are you charging for that?
It depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on the customer, depends on the relationship we have with the ESCO. Sometimes it's, if we win it, you win it. Sometimes you're going at your own dime. More commercial customers they're a little more amenable to getting paid, for us getting paid for the service. So there's no one right answer.
Sure.
But if you can get paid, go get it.
All right. And so you have that role. Are you also active in the IES? At one point you were the president? Are you the president? What are you?
So I'm currently the 118th past president of the IES. So I guess officially,
118. Holy
well,
macaroni.
1906 is when
Wow.
IES got going.
Wow.
So, IES files, recommended practices, lighting library. So in my official last role as a past, I'm chair of the nomination committee. And so this is the group of folks that help to fill out the slate. So when IES members go to vote, they've been kind of vetted with the committee work that we do. Which, by the way, it's still open if you're looking to serve on the board or to serve in that capacity. We are taking applications for that right now.
So are you active in helping plan Light Fair? I know IES is a share of the Light Fair show. But.
Right. So when I was serving as president, I was on the Light Fair Management Committee.
Okay.
That role stays with Colleen Harper, executive director, as well as typically the president, the current president. So
Gotcha.
It's a very, very limited, 1-2 year peek behind the curtains.
I feel like we're broadcasting over here. We're at Light Fair. He's blasting right into the broadcast over here. You know what so I've been counting lights for 25 years. Okay, since 1999. So maybe it's 26 years. 1999. You know what I've seen? I've seen a real shift in Ontario.
Okay.
And the shift is away from counting lights now. And it's almost like, so Ontario, maybe New England's ahead of us, but Ontario's probably one of the most adopted LED jurisdictions
Right.
in North America. Maybe like like I said, Boston, Massachusetts might be a little bit ahead of us, but Massachusetts is a lot smaller than Ontario.
Okay.
Ontario's got a lot of people, 15 million people. So I've seen, like in my business, we don't count lights at all anymore. We tell customers now, what is it that you want us to come fix that's already LED?
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, that first generation of LED products, it is now embedded in all of our buildings, a lot of our facilities. From your perspective, I think that makes total sense. What do we need to replace? Let's focus on that.
Let's write a work order because
Right.
it's not about people are not changing. It's interesting because property managers. So if you go to into the multi-residential high-rise sector, okay, I had a property manager that called us saying he wants to change every light bulb in the building, every light fixture in the building, Frank. And we went to his building, and it was because he had 10 fixtures that were burned out in one corridor, and the super said that they couldn't buy fluorescent tubes anymore. So they needed to change every light in the whole building.
Wow.
You see what I mean? Like they're almost trained.
Right.
The lighting industry has almost trained everybody that when there's a lighting problem, you have to change every light and get a rebate. And that's how this cycle works.
Right.
Are we? Maybe you haven't seen it in the markets you're working in yet. But comes a point where we move into maintenance mode, where we move into like, okay, either you're doing controls or you're just fixing this stuff.
The maintenance side is one of those areas that is not talked about a lot, right? Initially, going back, 10 years, LEDs were going to last forever. Don't worry about it. We know better now. And it was a little frustrating because as these L70s of TLEDs, it's a 50,000 hour, but we were making 70,000 hour linear fluorescence back then. So aren't we going backwards a little bit?
Sure.
I had a chance to listen
I would argue that induction lasts longer than LED. I would argue that induction has a longer life than LED.
How many induction projects did you do?
Maybe a dozen.
4.
But you know what? They all still going.
They're still going. You're right. You are right.
I mean, at what point does it become not useful life? It's like an old mercury vapor,
Sure.
right? 100,000 hours, but that L50, I mean, you're going to get to that average rated life where, okay, yeah, you can see it's on, but is it really helping?
Is it doing the job?
Is it going to keep you safe? Is it meeting light levels? All that good stuff. But, I mean, back to the maintenance thing, it's one of those things we don't really talk about. From our perspective, we're really leaning on the warranties, right? 5-year, 7-year, 10-year warranty.
Sure.
That's kind of the extent of the protection that's out there. But when lamps fail, when drivers fail, you'd like to think that the customer is going to have an 800 number to call.
Sure.
So it's there, but you have to really kind of walk through it.
But to that point on useful life, LED L70 is when 30% of the light's gone.
That's right.
So At the point when it's 50%, 60%, the light's still working, will the customer notice?
That's a great question. Is anyone doing the walkthroughs to verify light levels?
Should
Is
we
this
be?
a LEED Platinum building where they're documenting light levels every 6 months, stuff like
I've
that?
tried it. It's not a good sales technique
Doesn't work?
to go in and say, hey, your lights are dimmer than they should be.
Right.
You need to change your lights. It actually, the people don't like to change things that are working.
Right. It's almost as if light meters are now your employees. It's the incident where somebody sprained an ankle, or God forbid somebody got something happened in a parking garage.
Right.
Those are the light meters now.
Sure.
It's a knee-jerk reaction. Something happened. Okay, now let's fix everything.
Yes. Lighting has always been involved in legal cases.
Right.
Whenever there's something that happens adjacent or inside of a building that is, violent, the lighting is looked at every single time.
To be a witness on the stand who can talk about these are the light levels that we designed to. Here's what was there now. That's why it's so important to be involved in, entities like NILD and IES.
Yes.
These are the professional practitioners
Sure.
who are protecting your company from things like that. It's not just energy savings; it's mitigating risk.
Yes.
And all it takes is one legal action to destroy years of energy savings.
Wow. Well, thank you for listening to this live stream from Light Fair. We love Facility Solutions Group. I called them the Evil Empire, but they're a great NILB member. We love them. We love all the people at FSG, of course, and Frank Agraz, who's done so much great work in the lighting industry. You've had your confession. I absolve you, my son.
Now,
In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
there'll be another confession tomorrow. I'm speaking
Okay.
tomorrow morning.
Okay, he's more confessions tomorrow.
So
He needs absolution. Please go and see.
last year was the lighting audit. Stage 2 of the evil plan is confessions of a lighting retrofit proposal developer.
There you go.
There you go.
So how do you put together the solutions, the pricing, the budget? What do you give to the salesperson so that they can go sell it?
Yeah.
That's my world.
And I love that you called it confessions, a little bit of humor in there, a little bit of lightness to it, not so serious,
Right.
but not serious. I love it. Frank Agraz, thank you for coming on the live stream. All you folks
Thank you.
out there, go to KeystoneTech.com. That's KeystoneTech.com. The Big Easy.